everyone. Spirit of 420 here, coughing as usual because everything I do is so 420. Everything I am is so 420. Everything I'm going to be is always 420. My kids are 420. It's 420 mini, 420 TOO, 420 junior. I got more. I'm not even going to go into it. Fuck it. How's everybody doing? That's your answer? Well, okay. Make it better. I am in a fantastic mood. Generally speaking, I'm in a good mood. I might not always show it because when I go online or when I go live, it's 7:20 my time. So I think I'm going to start going on different times. I'll keep 7:20 for the Wednesday and Thursdays. This is kind of what I'm toying with. Friday and Saturdays will be 4:20, and Monday and Tuesdays will be kind of like Monday Night Football, late but not too terribly late. So I was thinking like maybe 6:20 or something like that. Anyway, I'm just toying with the idea. I'm playing with them like toys on a little playground. So it's a sandbox. That's my world is a sandbox game, and that's how I do it. You know what I'm saying? So, of course, are you kidding me? Wife, if you're watching, please let my son know that I'm broadcasting live right now because that was him calling. What up, brother? How you doing? Nice to see you. You are on time. That's awesome, but it's not required, so don't ever feel that way. But good to see you nonetheless. Whoop. Uh-oh. Dropped my lighter. So today's topic, and I do have a story behind it. I will actually have a couple in that regard. But today's topic is dream your dream. And what I mean by that is my entire life, my entire career, when somebody said not to do it, or when somebody said I couldn't do it, or when the experts would tell me to do it one particular way on something, right? I always did the opposite. It's just that simple. It is my mantra. I continue to do that today. My belief and my experience is that when you don't do it the way everybody tells you to do or expects you to do or feels like you should do, then you stand out more. And that works both ways. And what I mean by that is in school, I was told to be quiet. I did the exact opposite, and I got in trouble because I was noticed. I stood out like a sore thumb, right? However, the concept of what that did for me stuck with me my whole life. And what I mean by that is by being loud, God forbid, obnoxious, in your face, talking, doing the exact opposite, right, of what you're told to do has continued to put me at the top of my company, at the top of my game, whether I'm working for a company or own a company, doesn't matter. And what I mean by that is they're forced to take notice of me, right? And generally speaking, my sales, in fact, not my sales always match it unless I do not like the opportunity. And that's been so long ago that I took one of those that it's not even really in my wheelhouse today. And what I mean by that is it's been probably 10 years since I took a job that I knew I wouldn't work. You know what I mean? And you have those jobs where you're like, yeah, I'll take this because I just need a fucking job. So I just have to make sure that something's being done. What? Unreal. I have to take time to say that. Regardless, it's not going to stop. Wow. Are you kidding? He's a good kid. He means no harm. He just needs to talk to me about something, but I'm not sure what it is. And it's really getting hot. I'm going to turn the air conditioner on. Or I should say higher. Turn it higher. because damn, it's getting hot in here, and that's weird because it was cold all day. But I guess with all the lights running and everything, it gets hot. I have long sleeves, but that's usually not a problem this time of year. You know, it is what, October 13th? Yeah, October 13th. Don't ask me what I was thinking about. So anyway, dream your dream. I did bring my my little lucky book of quotes with me this evening, as I do many times now, since I kind of carry it around with me and keep it with me as much as I can. And so I have to read this. I was trying to find it, make sure I read it right. If you have enough fantasies, you're ready in the event that something happens. That's an awesome one, right? Follow your bliss. That one's a simple one. Really gonna drop the fucking bookmark. Unreal. You see things and you say why, but I dream things that never were, and I say why not. That's one of my favorites. I really like that one. The one that I actually kind of derive from where I got it, and I many times will pick these at random, have somebody else, just pick a page or something like that. In this particular case, it was my mom, and the one that she picked was always listen to the experts. They'll tell you what can't be done and why, then do it. To me, it's the same concept. I listen to the experts, take heed, and do the exact opposite. The experts all, for the most part, and I hate to use certain terms over and over, but wow, I dropped it again. Unbelievable. For the most part, I have found that experts kind of live by the risk factor rule. Not all. Every rule is meant to be broken. What I mean by that is when I say most of them, I do mean most. Like, I don't know if I had to give a percentage, I would say maybe 3 out of 4, and then that fourth one is gonna, go more based on experience and gut feeling, right? However, the majority, and the way I see it, probably around 3 out of 4 experts are going to go with what they feel like is least riskful and most chance for reward. Because and they do it. That's why it's always the same. That's why there's books written on a specific way. Do it this way, and you'll be successful, because it's the way that essentially is tried and true. And you could say it's the least resistance with the most success, but it's not always what you want to do. When I say it's not always what you want to do, I don't mean what you want to do. It's not always what actually needs to be done. Let me put it like that. It's not always what you should do, even though on paper it looks good. See, that's one of those things that I always love when people use that term. Like, on paper it looks great. Well, then that's not real. Like, I'm putting together this new company, and obviously I'm going to put things down on paper. And if my partner's watching, business plan, that's what you could do for me. I meant to say it last night, but fuck me, I was in another world. But when you put something in writing, it's always going to look good. The whole idea of a plan is to have a course of action, but you must know, you must understand that it is not going to go that way. So, back to the main point, dream your dream. You dream your dream and you consistently do it. What I believe, you do it your way, but don't be afraid to take people's advice. Don't be afraid to look at something like, and what I mean by that is, if somebody gives me a piece of advice, an expert, for instance, how do I say this in the best way? I will listen to it, and I may end up in one regard, and maybe in the main fashion, like from what I mean by that is at the greatest aspect, if you will, it will look like I'm doing the exact opposite. However, whatever their information was never just one piece, right? It's never just one piece. It's always multiple things, and I will take what makes sense and still apply it. So even though I may do the exact opposite in at first glance, that was the term I was looking for. At first glance, it may appear as though I'm doing the exact opposite. In some forms and fashion, I'm listening to what I do know works and what is probably still going to work. And I'm trying to give you like trying to think of it off the top of my head, an analogy, in sales rooms. And this, I'm not going to get into a specific right now because I'm just trying to think of a specific. I mean, it's happened so many times. But it got to the point where it was consistent for me to break this rule knowing that I was going to get the same result, right? And what I mean by that is every single phone room that I ever worked for, every pitch that I ever learned, they all like, learn the pitch verbatim. Learn the pitch verbatim. Say it exactly how it is in the book. Well, I don't know if you've ever tried to read a pitch, folks, but first of all, if you're reading a pitch, I don't care how good you are. I do not care how good you are. I will spot it on the other end. And if I can spot it, that means there are quite a few people who can spot it, and they know you're reading a pitch. Because what happens when you're reading a pitch is when they throw you a curveball, it's not on that fucking page. In the simplest of terms, you got to flip pages. So the first thing I have always done is I learn my product, my service inside and out so that I have a earnest, natural, flowing, authentic conversation and still get the things that I need that these assholes wrote in a pitch, right? And when I do create sales processes, by the way, and I'm very good at it. When I do create them, one of the things that I do differently is I create bullet points that you discuss. And I either put it as a bullet point with a question mark. It's either a couple of words with a question mark, or it's not. And if it's not, then it's a statement. One is something you're asking, one is something you're saying. It's just that fucking simple. But they're bullet points for a conversation, not I can't stand that. I don't think anybody likes to be sold that way either. I mean, first of all, people don't even like to be sold. If a salesman is doing his job to the best of his ability, it will not feel like he is selling them so much as helping them and educating them on that product or service, and then allowing them to make the best decision. And if that best decision is to get it, and the salesman can see that, then a salesman will persuade them for their own good. Like if the marketing will work and it's just a matter of implementing it, then I'm going to push heavy. Like, dude, look, it's worked like 18 times before for the same exact scenario as you. It's going to work for you. But there are no guarantees, by the way, in marketing. So just a side note. So I am dreaming my dream, and I'm going against the experts right now. Anything that I say is something that I do. It's not just something that I suggest. If you read the tweet that I have pinned to my Twitter account, then you will absolutely know 100%. It's the first thing I say. I mean what I say, and I practice what I fucking preach. Today I had 2 incredible conversations with individuals where I'm finally now starting to mix my business career, my I don't want to say legitimate because Spirit of 420 is legitimate. My daytime career, right, with my extracurricular activities, which is Spirit of 420 and Ding 2. And these 2 are merging, which I said a long time ago to all you folks who have been with me since the beginning, that it was only a matter of time before that happened. And both of these conversations today, here is one of the ways that I break the rules. They always tell you in sales, another one that they always tell you, and anybody out there who's been in sales knows this fucking shit's true. But one of the things they tell you is don't become their friend. If you're trying to sell them, don't be their friend. People can say no to their friends easier. I love how people always look at the negative, right? The flip side of that is people say yes to their friends a hell of a lot easier, and they also listen to their friends' advice with a more open ear. So guess which rule I've always broken, right? And I was talking to someone today. I told you I talked to two people. One of them, I was talking about how much I close, and I'm not trying to glow, but to put it in perspective, I've been for a company the only salesman and closed more than $2.5 million yearly dollars. I say that because in the marketing agency, and now you kind of get an idea of what I do, but in the marketing agency world, it's all about your yearly dollars, because these people are generally going to stay with you for a few years, right? A minimum of 6 months. And generally speaking, I put them in a year contract anyway, because I tell them, look, the results that you're wanting to see are going to take a year when you talk about, implementing multiple campaigns that include online optimization, right? That is not an overnight process. So one of the rules that I have always broken big time is befriending everybody. I do not bring in religion, and I do not bring in politics. If someone else comments on them or says something, then I may or may not share my opinion depending on who they are, because I try to keep that shit, just like in what I do with Spirit of 420. I try to keep that shit out of it because it really doesn't matter. Back to what I've said before, just on a quick tangent, and I'm going to have to come back to this and I'll forget. Hold on. So yeah, I know it's just the stoner mentality. It's already gone. See, God, I love getting high. I mean that. I befriend both people I'm buying from as well as people I'm selling to. Number one, I do break that rule. The people that I'm buying from will cut me better deals. They will be, and I don't befriend them. It's, how do I say this? Who I am and what I do is 100% authentic. And that's the difference. You cannot teach that to somebody. You cannot teach being a friendly, outgoing, personable chatterbox that other people enjoy talking to. Okay. You can teach another chatterbox that. Let's see what we got here. Yo. All right. Is this a... Parking something on porches and yards? Oh, man, that sucks. What are you talking about? I haven't even used the racial slur. Not sure what you're talking about there, but that, quite frankly, it doesn't really. Yep, no tickets. All right. What? Oh my God. How do I? Oh, dude. Okay. We have a situation. Sorry. T, I did not mean to block you. I will unblock you. I have to figure out how to do it. I hit the little three dots on that other person and it switched. So what a weird time. So I have to make a note to myself so that I fix this. Anyway, before I was spammed by something that had nothing to do with what I was talking about. What was I discussing? Was it's authentic. You can't teach that. Now, what I can teach is the fact of doing that. But what I tell them is like, you got to be real. You can't fake it, right? If you're gonna actually be their friend, then you got to be their friend. You have to listen to them. You have to be their friend, right? Like actually do what you would do for any other friend. Yeah, it's a different kind of friendship because you may never shake their hand, but they're still friends, right? They're still people I mean, I love everybody, right? And that's the truth. And I get to the point where if I'm working with you, I'll tell you, hey, I love you. I think you're awesome, you know. And I do, I preface it with, hey, I tell everybody this, so don't think that I'm hitting on you, but I love you and you're awesome and you're incredible. But that's just two. That's two of the main ones that I do that have worked for me. And what I mean by worked for me is they have allowed me to be very successful because I stand out. I'm not every salesman that just wants to get your money and get off the phone, right? And I, in many other ways, like in a multitude of ways, I do things differently because I do them against the grain. You go against the grain. You ever notice one thing about the hairs that are against the grain? You see them. Everything else is just a patch of whatever color it is, right? But if it's light brown, for instance, against the grain, you got these dark hairs that you spot like a fucking boom. They stand out, right? Like that old Travelers commercial, 1,500 black umbrellas, but you see the red one running through, right? So, dream your dream. I'm dreaming mine right now. It is really incredible. We have, as a new company that I'm opening, I'm merging. Our main focus is going to be helping cannabis businesses, no matter what the situation. It doesn't matter if they're a dispensary, whatever they are. If they are cannabis somehow related, then we can help them get more business online. And that just seems perfect with what I do as a pastime, right? I mean, it just made sense. I know some of y'all are like, duh, but you don't always want to mix your I talked about this the other day. That's one that gets debated heavily. Do what you love or don't do what you love, and make sure to do that. You know, like some people are like, don't make what you love your career, because then you won't love it anymore. It'll become a job, right? That's their belief. My belief is if you truly love it, then you'll continue to enjoy it. You're now just getting paid for it. Well, I enjoy selling. I enjoy marketing. I enjoy helping other people obtain their goals. And the beautiful thing is, even in the last job, I decided, and part of my job was to decide if they were a good fit, and that is still the case even now. Like, as hungry as I am for money, I'm not just going to take anybody, because I want people that I know I can help, right? That I know are going to appreciate that help, and show it and be loyal and really open up to me and become my friends. And back to the two calls that I made today, like these are vendors. One is for lead generation, and one is for fulfillment, right, of services. Very two key pieces of the pie, right? They're not, I'm paying them money, but the whole reason I'm paying them money is because I'm going to make money with them. And the relationship that I'm building with these folks is just, it's really awesome. Like, I really, and I won't mention the names because I don't do that, but I really felt something. It was, one was a dude, one was a guy. One was a dude, one was a guy. One was a dude, one was a chick, or one was a guy, one was a girl, whatever nomenclatures you like. Very cool people. I will tell you this, by opening up, I won't tell you where they live, but one lives where it is illegal and one lives where it is legal, and they both smoke, because I've been saying it for years. Most people smoke now. Here's my shield to protect me. You like that? Oh, duh. There it is. There's the shield. Hemper. This one is very easily named, because it has the Hemper shield. What are you gonna fucking do? I don't always get highly creative with the name. Sometimes I just go with the obvious, because you can fucking remember the obvious when you're stoned. You can't remember the extravagant, oh, this is Sherlock Holmes of the 5th season of, fuck that. One of my favorite hand-blown bongs, bubblers, for those of you who don't know what a bubbler is. One of my favorite hand-blown bubblers from the day, back in the day, was called Alien Testicles, because it literally looked like, I mean, it was really funny. It looked like someone loved the shit out of Krieger's art and then blew that into something you could suck and hit. Yeah, I know. And this was hand blown, not Pyrex, but actual hand blown glass. It was fucking huge. It was heavy as shit. Yeah, it was like you were holding these testicles to, like it. All I'm telling you, alien junk, alien genitalia. That's what it looked like. And when you were hitting it, getting high, literally, I wanted that thing to come on my face. Did I say that? I did. Fuck it. I don't give a shit. Fucking YouTube age restricts like half of my content. And I don't understand why, because I'm not out here with my schlong. I don't understand why anybody under the age, like, because I do it for over 16, right? I already say that it needs to be 16 or over. But like, dude, you don't need to be 21 to hear the shit that I'm saying. Honestly, I know that because I fucking talk to 19-year-olds like this. I raised my fucking kids, and they're pretty cool, and they were 19, 20, 21 not that long ago, 18, 17. The whole fucking works. Holy shit. So, breaking the rules. Dream your dream. You look at any dreamer who has actually obtained their dreams, and almost inevitably, and I mean almost inevitably, every single one will tell you they did not follow the rules. They didn't do what everybody told them. They did the exact opposite. I've been doing these interviews for quite a while before I was fired from my job. And part of it was interviewing. They were all successful people with their own practice, right? Lawyers with their own practice. And the running theme, and it's funny because I do believe in FR, right? EHFAR, everything happens for a reason. It's by no coincidence that I've been interviewing these folks, and there's this running theme of you have to take a leap of faith. That's one of them, right? They all say, learn to pick the right client, pick the right fit, which I was already doing, but I'm just telling you it was one of the running themes. And also one of the running themes is that when anybody said they couldn't do it, or said they to do it, a particular way, or said not to do it a particular way, they did the opposite, and they did what their gut told them to do. I'm not saying I'm any more intelligent or any less intelligent or any worse or any better than anybody else. I will just tell you this. If you believe in yourself, then you understand your inner self is going to tell you the truth. And you go with your gut, you dream your dream, you be you, and you let your fucking light shine, no matter how weird or strange other people may say you are, because what will end up happening is the ones that don't deserve you will fly away. And the ones you deserve will be attracted to you. And you'll be attracted to them. And you'll find the right people to work with. And as I tell everybody every day, if you do what you love, for instance, in sales, let's talk about that because it doesn't change in sales. If you sell something for the money, purely for the money, and that's why you're doing the job, then you're not going to be very happy. Number one, you're going to get a lot of disappointed clients, and it's unfulfilling. And you won't make as much as you potentially can, by the way. What I mean by that is, even if you're making $100,000 only selling for the money, if you sell, and I know this is going to sound like this makes it greedy, but the money comes better and stronger when you sell for the right reasons, when you sell somebody who needs it, when you sell somebody who's right for the company. Funny enough, on those days when I would turn somebody down because they didn't fit the company spirit and camaraderie, right? I would get sometimes 2 or 3 more leads right away in a job that doesn't get leads every day. But then like that day, I'd get 2 or 3 leads. I'd even tell my wife, this is fucking crazy. I turned this down and I got these leads. You can say what you want, but I have now practiced this to the point where I will not practice anything else other than exactly what I preach. And that is karma is real. If you do it for the money, you'll never be successful. If you do it to help people and give them something they need or want, then you will be successful and the money will come. The money will flow like fucking Niagara gold falls, right? In those times when you're hurting for money, you'll know, like I do right now. I almost called this not too long ago that this was going to happen. I could feel a big change happening, which is why I started forming the company before I even lost the job. I was going to do this anyway and just incorporate it. And just incorporate it into my job, since they both kind of ran hand in hand. I'll go ahead and say this right now. The thing I'm not going to do, I'm not touching a fucking attorney. No offense to any lawyers. You're all good people, and I love you all dearly for the same reasons I love everybody. But man, you're talking about a much higher maintenance account. High maintenance account. More explanation. Yeah, you might end up charging them more because it usually is also more expensive, and you have to justify that, which simply put is just because attorneys spend more money on marketing. Right? But in a nutshell, it's a higher maintenance all the way around. That means more phone calls, more attention, more. Even the nicest of attorneys are going to be. They're litigious by nature, so typically they want to know more than the average person because that's what they're used to doing with everything they do. One thing I remind them is attorneys speak legalese, but marketers like myself speak marketese. Two different languages. So excuse the fuck out of you. I think that's going to be the only tab I do tonight because that just. I did 4 fat dabs right before the show. And the last one I even told them last night, thanks a lot. You fucking made me sweat. They've had me coughing all day. These lungs are used, and unfortunately they're not refurbished. They're not renewed. They're just fucking used with 50 years of fucking tread on them. You get it? And since they were 14, that tread has been THC laced. So fuck off. Fuck off. Fuck off. No, not real. I actually love all of you. This is just a joke. Don't take it personally or else you'll get upset. One more quote about dreaming your dream. And one thing I'll remind everybody right now, to blaze or not to blaze, there is no question. There is only to get high, to get by. Remember that. So smoke your pot, smoke your pipe, smoke whatever it takes to get high, and you will have a better day. I promise you that. It will help you get by. But unfortunately, sometimes to get by, I have to put on my eyeballs. It's just one of those days. All right, so here's one of my favorites. I might read 2 more. Why not go out on a limb? Isn't that where the fruit is? That is a person by the name of Frank Scully. And one last one that I'll read. The Ark was built by amateurs and the Titanic by experts. Don't wait for experts. So, with that, all I can tell you is don't listen to what they tell you to do. Don't do what everybody tells you to do. Let's see. Oh, yeah, no, I'm not worried about the troll. Thank you so much, Princess. I appreciate that. What I'm worried about is I accidentally blocked TP, and I don't know how to unblock him, and that I'm going to have to figure that out because that doesn't doesn't bode well. I think I'm going to have to go into YouTube and do it. So, but either way, I will be back. Let's just say look for it, and I'll let you know in the future, since I do apparently have some trolls watching tonight. But obviously I'll post. Typically I try to, and I'm going to be getting better, where it will be very soon when I get my work life in order, but it is kind of hectic right now. But eventually I'll get to the point where every Sunday I'll post the times for the times and the topics for the next 3 shows. Even if it's to be determined, I'll still post and get something up there so that the times are there and you know what's happening and when it's happening, right? Or at least have some idea. Again, to blaze or not to blaze, there is no question. There is only to get high to get by. And that one right there is one of the ones they tell you don't do. Don't get high to get by through the day. What? Just do it if you need it for medical use. Isn't that for getting by? Mentally, physically, or emotionally, I use it for all 3 to have a better, more enhanced day. I also throw a little kratom in there too, so fuck it. Hey, I love all of you. Everybody is awesome people. Each and every one of you are unique. You're special. You're wonderful. You bring something to the table. Remember, the reason that the butterfly effect is real is because there's only 6 degrees of separation, which means just 6 steps between you and any other human living thing, even living thing, really, because, you know, it kind of works for dogs and cats. Throw it into the mix. Regardless, you're special, and you're meant to be here, and you have a purpose, and you have an effect on this world every day you get up, whether you think you do or not. I hope all of you have a wonderful, blessed evening. I will be back again very soon. Thank you so much for joining me tonight. And hey, if you get the time, you know, please consider sharing and having someone else subscribe. I want to start spreading the message more and getting it out there as much as I can, because people need to hear it. You know, all these different things they need to hear. You share it too. Tell them. Say, hey, man, I heard this shit the other day. Do it. It's fun. Get to know other people. Have a great day. See you Saturday.
You can't have my phone number unless we running up the digits. Let me meditate. I just need a couple minutes. Tryna low bump me, my cojones to the big ass. Bitch, I get high. I ain't looking at the clock still.